Hey everybody, we're back.
Hey,
I'm Teresa,
Gerald.
and this time we want to talk about marriage.
Oh, the M word.
The M word. We want to talk about the M word.
And sometimes it reminds us of the N word and the four-letter words that we often hear about. Marriage sometimes. Marriage? Yes, marriage.
I got a question for you.
What's that?
Are you glad you married me?
Yes, I am.
Why?
First of all, because God said I was supposed to marry you.
Yeah, y'all, let me tell y'all about that story.
Mm-hmm.
Lord of mercy, because I said, if a man comes to me and say, God said you're my wife, I'm rolling out. But I couldn't. I tried, but I couldn't leave him.
On many occasions.
This was before we got married, though.
Yes.
And he said, the Lord said you're my wife. I was like, well, he didn't tell me that.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, you see, now we've been together for 16 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
We've been together for 16 years, and we will have literally been married for 16 years on November the 4th.
Less than 2 months away.
Less than 2 months away, because the date is September the 29th, 2015. So, we've been married all this time. Now, what I want to say is that we've been married for all this time, but we haven't been happily married all this time. Mm-hmm. And you won't find a lot of people who will talk about this. You know, a lot of people like to take stuff and push it under the rug, because sometimes everything is not for everybody. And you have to know when God's giving you the grace to talk about it. Mm-hmm. You have to know when God's giving you, the proper time to talk about it. And we can talk about our marriage now because we're solidified in our marriage. Mm-hmm. We're not embarrassed about the things that we've done. Though I think sometimes I am a little bit embarrassed about some of the things that I disclose. But because I'm not the same person that I was when all that stuff was happening, then we can talk openly about some of the things that we went through. And being married for 16 years, I think the last 3 years have been the best years of our marriage. And it wasn't because we went to marriage counseling or, we took a separation from one another and we lived apart from each other or anything like that. But what happened was I had to take an inventory of myself, and I had to allow God to deal with me and heal me of some things that I had brought into this marriage. Because when I tell you I brought a lot of baggage into this marriage, I brought I brought anger, I brought bitterness, I brought hate, I brought rejection, I brought, failed relationships prior to me being with him. I brought, all of these things into this marriage, and I didn't get counseling before we got married. Not real counseling, like, not intensive counseling, which we should have gotten, because I was broken. I was a little girl in a woman's body. And the things that I endured in my life prior to him, I was basically making you pay for it. Right?
Yeah.
Because the things that I was mad at other people about, I was taking it out on you. I never verbalized that, but my actions proved that that's what I was doing. I couldn't get to the people who hurt me. There were many people who hurt me, but I had carried all of that hurt with me, and while I had done that, I was destroying our marriage. I was destroying our relationship, because when we got married, we took those vows and we said we promised to love one another. We promised to be with each other and stay with each other through sickness and health, and God knows we've endured that for years, because even when we first met, I was sick. Yeah. I was always going to the hospital. Was always something wrong with me. So in sickness and health, we've endured that. You said what, richer or poorer? Mm-hmm. Lord of mercy, we done endured that. We done endured the richer or poorer. Just crazy. And the funny thing about it is that it's through the richer or poorer that actually got me back on board to where I need to be, because of that statement that you made to me about the money. That's when I really got back on board, as far as we get ready to lose power. As far as that. So we'll pick this up again because power is getting ready to go off. See, that's funny though, because this is going to be good. When we talk about this marriage thing, this is going to be good. But we'll do it again, and when we do it again, you'll see the entirety. We'll tell you some stuff.
And let me say this before we go off. Excuse me. God is using us to help others.
Yep.
That's why we're sharing. This is not to recapitulate all of what we've been through. We know what we've been through. We lived it for 16 years, so we don't have to rehash amongst ourselves to each other what we've been through. But there's many a person that's going through right now what we're going to share with you on both ends. And let me tell you, I had some baggage too. Oh yes. I had some issues too myself that also impacted the marriage and did not help in the marriage. Was also instigated things and other things of that nature. But we'll hear all of that. No need to go into all of that now because we're about ready to cut off, and we don't want to cut off with a great thought beginning to happen, and then you don't hear the end result. So we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about discipleship and salvation. There's so many topics that I believe the world needs to hear. One of my slogans, I guess, or really my mantra, if you will, is a higher standard of living. We have to begin a higher standard of living. And we're going to be dealing with that as we present to you these series of videotapes that I promise you will change your life forever. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
See ya.